I woke up to a rather gloomy morning on day 2 of my Mornington Peninsula trip. If you haven't already, please check out my last video about my first day here. But I started off my morning by making my coffee, because to me, it is the only way to start your day. I then decided to walk down to the beach here at Cameron Spite and sit on this cute bench, drink my coffee and read. It was the perfect idea. Except for the weather, as I didn't even get to finish my coffee before it started to rain. I went back to the van to hunker down, and so I spent the rest of my morning cozying up to the sounds of the rain. So it wasn't all that bad, just a slow start to what would be a big day. But I was very keen to go out exploring. So once the rain eased up a bit, I drove to Rye. I checked out the pier, and obviously the weather wasn't ideal, being rather moody. It was still drizzling on and off, so to make the most of the rest of my morning, I went to the local op shops hoping to find some treasures, because you never know what you'll find, especially when going to a new place. The rain had finally cleared, the sun was starting to peek through, and the clouds were slowly dissipating. I had lunch, and by the time I finished, the sun was out. It's crazy how dark and rainy it was merely an hour ago, and now it's the perfect summer day. Now that the sun was well and truly out, I went to have a quick look at Rye's back beach. Then, it was on to the next location, which was St. Andrew's Beach. It is a bit off the beaten track, as it is not a patrolled beach and not off a main road. You have to drive down quite a few residential streets to get to it, but it was well worth the trek with its rough and rugged landscape, my favourite kind of secluded beach here in Victoria. It was a cool stretch of coast to explore with its beautiful sand, rocky shoreline and powerful swells. After that, I drove down to Sorrento, and my first stop was the back ocean beach. I had planned to walk the Coppin Track to Diamond Bay. It had stunning scenery snaking along the cliffs here. But it was an unexpectedly challenging hike, due to it being very undulating, and for the majority you were traversing through soft sand. I reckon I didn't even make it to the halfway point before I started to feel faint, and I was really struggling. So I had to make the call, the tough decision to turn back. Better safe than sorry, as they say. So I made what felt like a very long trek back to the van to rest and hydrate. It was really disappointing, as I really wanted to complete this entire hike, because I reckon I haven't even seen the best parts yet. But what I did manage to see was absolutely stunning. Just check out the colour of this water. But if you're not feeling 100%, it's really not worth taking the risk pushing on. So I will need to come back to conquer this another time in the future, maybe when I'm a bit fitter. After having a break and a rest in the van, I then walked along the beach here. Then I went to go have a gander at the front beach here at Sorrento on the bay side of the peninsula, walking along this really cute old wooden pier, and I can't get over how crystal clear the water is. The way the sun sparkles off the surface is just beautiful and tranquil. After sitting on the edge of the pier and dangling my feet in the water for a while, I was feeling a lot better after my failed hiking experience. So I thought I'd do something a little less challenging, a little more manageable in Millionaire's Walk. To start, you go through this gate called the Secret Gate, because it honestly feels like you're walking into someone's backyard. But once you're on the other side, the walking track is clearly signposted with what is public versus private property. On one side, you have the beautiful bay, with its picturesque sea views, and on the other, these multi-million-dollar houses overlooking the water, all with their own private jetties, of course. It was a mixture of some old period houses and brand new homes. It made you wonder how anyone has this much money, or what you would even do with it. I can't even fathom what it would be like to be this rich. But this walking track is a nice easy stroll, experiencing some nice views of the bay, while you daydream about what it'd be like to be a millionaire. But it's not a bad place to start, especially if you're already exploring Sorrento. This was my first time visiting Sorrento, and my first impression is that it is a very beautiful place, with the coastal architecture, stunning water, but I couldn't help but feel a bit out of place walking down the main drag here, because it's super trendy and a very affluent area, but it was interesting to check out nonetheless. However, even though the shops and restaurants weren't necessarily my vibe, the beaches and coastal landscapes were unreal and well worth checking out. So that was my day exploring Rye and Sorrento. If you liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and join me next time for my final day here on the Mornington Peninsula, as I wander around the historic Point Nepean National Park. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next adventure.